Hello, Rhonda Pierce here, and looks like Jenny is our first attendee today. Hi there, how are you? Well, Rhonda Pierce here with SCHMETZ Home Sewing Machine Needles. I'm here in the Chicago office, and it's lunchtime here. Anybody else hungry? Anyway, I can wait. I had some pistachios before I came online. So, anyway, I'll be just fine. So, as you come online, say hello to everyone. Tell me where you're from, your city or state, or maybe even your country. Hello, Anita. Always a pleasure to see you. Lisa, hi there. Always a pleasure. Um, so, yeah, I have to tell you that I've had quite a few things going on in the last couple of weeks for work, and I wasn't exactly timely in posting this event for the notification on Monday. So I'm happy to see all of you here today. So Patty's here from Fort Wayne. Brenda's here from Southwest Georgia. She just had lunch. Did you have a Florida peach or a Georgia peach? Marianne's here from Georgia. Oh, Anita says she's glad to see that I've rested up from my big adventure. Yes, I'm leaving on Friday for Houston. So International Quilt Market and Festival. So I'll talk about that shortly. We've got Jody from Texas, Lolly from Georgia. Wow, we've got quite a few people here from Georgia. So welcome to everybody. Kathy from North Carolina. So welcome everyone. Well, let's go ahead and get started. Are you sewing for Halloween? How many of you have kids or maybe grandkids and maybe you're making Halloween costumes? Well, yesterday I got an email about Halloween and retailers. And this year, you want to guess how much money is expected to be spent on Halloween? This isn't just sewing, but Halloween in general. So 73% of all of US customers are expected to spend over $13 billion for Halloween. So there's a statistic. Let's see, where did this statistic come from? It was a retail organization. The average person is expected to spend about $115 on Halloween. And yeah, so as far as costumes, $4.3 billion is spent to be collected in sales just on Halloween costumes. So, hey, do you want to make your own costume or a costume for somebody else? Anyway, I thought that was interesting and I would just share that with you. So last month, the question to be entered into the monthly random giveaway was what's your favorite quilt or sewing show, whether online or in person. And wow, there were so many wonderful comments. The winning comment was from Suzanne from Rhinebeck, New York, and Suzanne said that she likes the sheep and wool show. Here. She loves the Sheep and Wool Festival held in Rhinebeck, New York, held every October. She drives there with three or four of her high school friends that she attended with many, many years ago. So congratulations to Suzanne. She sent me a really nice thank you note. So she was really excited to get all of her goodies because she likes to sew, and she likes to sew with SCHMETZ. So thank you, Suzanne. So let's just go ahead and let me just move on to the question for today to put you into the random drawing. And why did I come up with this question? Because, I received another email about shopping for Christmas and the holidays. And this report from, it's part of the Wall Street Journal, Morning Brew says that 80% of the shoppers are expecting to wait for holiday shopping until November or December. Well, I don't know about you, but except for one gift, I have my holiday shopping already done. So, the question today that enters you into the random drawing is, when do you plan to do your holiday shopping? Um, are are you shopping now, or maybe you're done? Are you shopping for the holidays before Thanksgiving, or are you going to wait until after Thanksgiving for holiday shopping? So put your comment in the chat below. There's no right or wrong answer, but your answer does enter you into the random drawing for today. So again, when do you plan to do your holiday shopping? That would be for all the holidays and Christmas that are coming up after Thanksgiving. Are you done with your holiday shopping already? Or you're doing it right now? Are you planning to shop before Thanksgiving? Or are you going to wait until after Thanksgiving for your holiday shopping? So we're just curious. We want to see what your answers are. And I see Jennifer, she's waiting until mid-November to start. Marianne says that she's been shopping, but she still has a few presents to go. Anita says she's working on an embroidered nativity pillow for several people, and they're nearly complete. Wow, you guys are really on the ball. So fantastic. All right. Well, let's just scoot along. I do have an agenda here. Um, so I'm here in the Chicago office, and we have this new lighting systems, and it has automatic lights. And I think if I swing my arm every once in a while, the lights will come back on. So if you see it dim, well, it's not your eyes, it's our new lighting system, and I'm not moving around enough. So, yep, I've given 490 presentations since 2020, and by the maybe by the end of this month, I will have reached 500. What I don't know is at the end of the month, I'm going to Bonita Springs for flash sewing. They have a Sew Creative week. And I don't know how many classes I'm giving, if I'm giving one, two, or maybe even up to five classes. So if it's five, that probably will push me over 500 for 500 presentations. So stay tuned. I'll have that revised number for you next month. So yeah, really active month for me. I was at the Great Wisconsin Quilt Show in Madison, Wisconsin. So that was fantastic. And I know from comments from last month that many of you were there. And some of you even came up and said hello. We hugged and you told me what your favorite needle is. So I'm always delighted to meet you in person. A few days ago, I was in Fredericksburg, Virginia, for Original Sewing and Quilt Expo, gave two classes there. They went really well. My first lecture sold out, and my second class did not sell out, but wow, we had a great time and really terrific questions. One of the things I noticed at Original Sewing and Quilt Expo was in the exhibit hall, they have a variety of exhibits, and one of them was Culpepper, Culpepper Quilt Guild, which is a local guild there in the Virginia area. And they were celebrating, I think it was 30 years as a guild, and they had a theme of green. And I have never seen so many green quilts. I really stepped back to take a look at all those green quilts. I thought that was really quite unusual, having just one color theme. And there were traditional quilts and there were non-traditional quilts there. And I really enjoyed that. So just a little shout out for them. So yes, International Quilt Market is coming up on Friday. I have a 5:30 flight from Chicago. That's 5:30 a.m. On Friday to Houston, so that I can be in attendance at their first opening session at 10 o'clock. So I hope the weather and the airlines are on time. And yeah, really, I hope my alarm goes off in time also at 2:15 so I can be there. While in Houston, then I will also be at International Quilt Festival where I'm giving one 3-hour class. It's a hands-on class. SCHMETZ, what needle do I use? And we use over 10 different needle types on a variety of fabrics. So it's a good exercise to find out what needle works best with different types of fabrics. It's 3 hours long. I have kits and I have very generous giveaways in my kits with SCHMETZ needles, of course. So looking forward to that and seeing a lot of um, friends and new friends and vendors. And I've got a few dinners scheduled too. So I'll be updating you as those all take place. I mentioned at the end of the month, I'll be in Bonita Springs, Florida. So if you're there, wow, you want to be there for a 3-day sewing creative sponsored by Flash Sewing. I've been to 2 of their 3 stores. They recently opened a 3rd store in must be is it Miami? They're in Sarasota and Naples. So I've been to both of those locations, and then they opened a 3rd location. So I'll be giving SCHMETZ lectures at their upcoming event at the end of the month. And then I move on to Novi, Michigan for Original Sewing and Quilt Expo, which is in that first week of Novi. So, wow. Good thing I love to sew and to meet all of you and to help answer some of your questions. All right, so how many of you received the SCHMETZ newsletter? In the newsletter, and if you don't receive the newsletter, I encourage you to sign up for it. Just go to schmetzneedles.com, and after about 10 seconds, you get one of those irritating pop-ups that says, sign up for the SCHMETZ newsletter. And I always encourage you to do that. Not only do I have needle facts, but sometimes I offer specials. And you know, the holidays are coming up. So I will be having a holiday special pretty soon. But for October, I started off on the newsletter with some pictures from the Madison Quilt Show, the Great Wisconsin Quilt Show. And one of the exhibits that I really enjoyed was a fashion challenge. And they had, I don't know how many entries, probably 50 or so entries of garments that were made out of quilts. So this garment here is actually a poncho. And I thought, oh my gosh, I love that. And I love the colors. They were so unusual. Of course, they had jackets, and there was this wonderful apron or dress here too. So I don't have credits for who made those because, well, I don't really understand why. They had a fashion show, which, oh, I was busy working, so I missed it. But at least I saw some of the fantastic works. Also at the show, I did meet some of you. That was fantastic. I had a great conversation with Carla of Cherry Wood Fabrics. Many of you know Carla with her cherry wood hand-dyed fabrics, and I always love her colors. Here is Jennifer Chavarini. She was celebrating many of her books, and yes, that's her holding the SCHMETZ Super Demo Needle. Linda McGehee was there. I met Rita Farrow's 2 sisters, Rhonda and Dina. Deanna Springer, of course, was there of Nancy Zeman Sewing Studio. And Deanna, as you know, is a mover and a shaker. And she co-organizes the Great Wisconsin Quilt Show. So I was glad to capture her for 20 seconds in the booth. And then, well, I have this really great picture here of fiber artist Vance, who is from Wisconsin, and we had several really wonderful conversations. So always delighted to meet you. Okay, well, the needle point this month was about the leather needle, and our home sewing machine needle, the SCHMETZ leather needle, has a left twist. So when you're stitching leather, there's a little bit of the stitch thread kind of goes on a little bit of an angle. So it looks like a little bit of a decorative stitch. And again, that's just to help create the stitch when you're working with leather. So that needle comes in sizes 70, 80, 90, 100. So you can look up the leather needle. Yeah, yeah. Online. And speaking of leather, I just have to show you that Friday I got an unexpected package in the mail. And what is this? Well, it's a leather handbag that is a gift to me. This at Bernina University this summer at Salt Lake City, I met sisters Karen and Sharon of the Patchwork Moose from Alaska. And we had a great conversation. We really hit it off. Wow, I wish we lived closer together. And this little bag was made for me. But let me turn it around for you. Oh, so you can see a leather needle was used right here. I'm guessing this was probably made on a larger machine rather than just a home sewing machine, but I don't know. But let me turn it around because look at this. Isn't this stunning? This is hand painted. And then there was some kind of a clear finish that went over it to maintain the colors and the paint. So this bag here, let me get this. This was from, now the Patchwork Moose sent this to me, but it was actually made by Larolle, I'm not sure that's pronounced right, Laurolle of Ravensway Studio in, oh, I gotta look up the name of the town, Keetna, Alaska. Isn't it spectacular? The leather is beautiful. The painting is beautiful. The hardware is top notch. It has a nylon strapping, wonderful hardware. It's got an inside pocket. So you know what? I'm going to use this. I can really use this. It's the right size for my oversized phone, and it's so beautiful. So if you see me wearing it at an upcoming show, stop and say hello. The other thing, wow, yesterday in the mail, I got a letter with a postcard. And the letter was from Judy Hillebrandt from Village Quilters of Lake Bluff, Lake Forest Quilt Guild. And they have an upcoming show coming up October 24th and 25th in Grays Lake, Illinois. And she invited me to attend. Well, unfortunately, I can't attend, but she included this postcard of the quilt that they're going to raffle during the show. Now, this is just the center of the quilt. The quilt is called Falling Star. It's a full-size quilt that they're raffling, and I was delighted that Judy invited me. So maybe next year, or if you're in northern Illinois or southern Wisconsin, I encourage you to go to Quilts from the Village. It's number 19, October 24 to 25 in Grays Lake, Illinois. So, you know what? I'm going to keep this postcard just because I think it's pretty. They sent multiple, she sent multiple postcards. So I have a couple quilting friends local that maybe they'll just make it. So we'll see. So anyway, those were some fun things that came up for me in the last few days. The other thing I would just want to mention, yep, I'm still on track here, is if you're looking for gifts or something to sell to your guild members, or maybe if there are shop owners on here, we have the Grab It magnetic pin cushion in an oval shape. This is called a pin pal, and you can customize the print on it. So we've done lots of stores, Wow, we even did a bank here, synchrony. We've got thimbles here. Oh gosh. And so this is the magnetic pin cushion. Oh, I don't have any pins with me. And so the pins just gravitate to the center of the pin cushion. So we have the grab it bobbin savers, the bobbin saver squares, and the G bob. All of those are available. It's a minimum quantity of 100. So if you're looking for some gifts for your guild or your groups, etc., this would be a nice little option for you. It's a minimum order of 100 units, and it takes about 6 to 8 weeks, maybe less. Delivery kind of depends on what time of year you order it. So it's red is the only color we do, and it comes with white print. So maybe if your guild has a sassy saying, you could put that on here. So just saying, you've got some options here. All right, I think I've talked about a lot of things here. So let's move on. And again, I'll just repeat the question. If you want to be in the random drawing, you need to answer this question here. When do you plan to do your holiday shopping? Are you doing it now, or maybe you're done? Are you shopping before Thanksgiving, or are you waiting for your holiday shopping until after Thanksgiving? So there's no right or wrong answer, but we're just curious. I'm curious when you're going to be shopping. All right, so there were a few questions that were asked in advance. And again, I apologize. I was a little bit slow in getting the event up on Facebook, but I'm glad each of you are here today. A few questions that came in. So Pam asked to tell her more about the felt and craft needles. So this past month, so in September, I featured quite a few combo packs of SCHMETZ needles. And one of those packs is this one here called the Felt and Craft Needles. I think this one was featured. When was this featured? Oh, maybe it was on Monday. What is this? Well, the Felt and Craft needles, that gives you a clue as to what to use these needles for. This is an assortment of needles in here. And the first needle you're going to notice is this one right here. It's the SCHMETZ Super Nonstick Super Universal Needle in size 80-12. When are you going to use that needle? Oh, anytime you're working with sticky stabilizers, fusibles, splash fabric, oilcloth, if you do machine embroidery, machine applique, or if you sew on vinyl. The Super Nonstick Super Universal is a great needle to use. Also in this pack, we have jeans in size 90. And then we have universal in sizes 70, 80, and 90. So, we work on all kinds of different crafts with different fabrications. So this is a good multi-needle pack to use for assorted crafts. Now, you'll notice that the card is, well, it's not like the traditional card, right? It's kind of vibrant with all the different colors. So let me give you the history of these needles. Oh gosh, I don't even remember the year, but years ago, I was working with my friend Paula at Prim Dritz in North Carolina, and we created 8 packs of project-driven needles that specifically for Joann's. And the title of the needle pack gives a clue as to what the projects what kind of sewing projects the needle could be used for. So here we have the costume pack. The costume pack actually comes 2 different ways, with a 9 needle and a 10 needle pack. So you've got universal needles in assorted packs. You've got jeans, top stitch. You've got a twin needle here. And you'll notice that the packaging or the little hang card is quite colorful. Another pack that we did was stretch, knit and stretch. So this has both the jersey and the stretch needles in assorted colors. And guess what? The background on this card is one of my own sweaters. Here's the felt and craft project that I just mentioned. Here is a pack for upholstery and home deck. So these are mostly larger size needles. So we've got the jeans in sizes 100 and 110. We've got the top stitch in 100, and we have the universal in size 100 and 110. So again, these are larger size needles for some of your heavier sewing, especially when you're looking at home deck or maybe working with some of your upholstery fabrics. This is the piecing and quilting assortment with both microtex and the quilting needle. Many of you know that Microtex 8012 is my favorite go-to needle, especially for piecing, but you have the Microtex in sizes 80 and 90. Probably use the size 90 for the quilting of your project. And then you've got the quilting needle in the two sizes, 7511 and the 9014. And guess what? The background of this card is actually a runner that I made, a table runner that I made. So with scraps that I had left over from a quilt that I made. So actually the table runner, those are batik fabrics. And yes, I did use Microtex 8012 on that batik table runner. And I have it hanging in my home. So I always like them, these colors. All right, of the 8 specialty packs, we've got needles for sewing with fleece. So these come in the two sizes, 7511 and the 9014. And when you're working with the minky or cuddle fabric or that heavier, squishier, plumper fleece, generally use that size 9014. And last but not least are the needles that are listed as vinyl needles. But don't let that name fool you. Definitely. So Jenny reminder, posted a question right before we went live asking what needle to use with vinyl, and the super nonstick, super universal needle would be your needle of choice. And let me see here. Let me just pull a regular. Here's what super nonstick, super universal looks like in the regular packaging. So 5 needles of a single needle size. So this is size 7010. So the needles come in 4 sizes, 70, 80, 90, and 100. And if you're testing needles for your machine embroidery, machine applique, maybe you're working with vinyl, splash fabric, Velcro. This is a great assortment of needles. So you have sizes 70, 80, 90, and 100 in this multi-size pack. So this is a nice little sampler pack so you can determine what needle size you like. And then you can buy, once you determine that, then you can buy the single size packs. So actually, all of these needles you can find, pretty much now in a lot of your local sewing machine dealers and some of your quilt and fabric stores. So look for the colorful, vibrant packaging. Again, initially these were designed for Joann's, but we know what's happened there. You might find them soon at Hobby Lobby and Michael's. We'll see, but that's not going to happen right away. But you can find them at your local sewing machine dealer. These are available already bundled up over at SCHMETZneedles.com. It's the expanded special bundle, so you can check that out yourself. Okay, so I talked about that. All right. Let's, before I go over any other questions, let me show you what the giveaways are. So first, I'm going to start with Benartex. Oh my goodness, my friend, many of you know my friend Laura Koya of So Very Easy, and her new collection, her first collection of Benartex fabrics has just dropped. So you can find these beautiful fabrics at your local sewing machine dealer and some of your fabric shops. This is called the Blooming Crystals bundle. So there's 14 fat quarters in this bundle. So one lucky person is going to win this bundle. Now this morning, My email sure has been active lately. um, this morning, Laura's email came through her monthly newsletter, and it included a free pattern using her Blooming Crystals fabric collection. So I've included this. You can go to So Very Easy on YouTube or soveryeasy.com, and YouTube can get the free pattern. So here's the free pattern and the beautiful selection of fabrics that's one lucky winner um, will receive today. Also, from our friends at Stoff Fabrics, that's the Danish fabrics. This is a knit jersey needle, or a knit fabric, excuse me. And I just love these colors. They're kind of transitional, aren't they? They kind of have a little aqua flavor to them, but yet it's kind of a floral free form. So I love, love, love this fabric here. I thought about keeping it for myself, but no, no, no. I've got other fabrics. From our friends at Hobbs Batting, we've got their heirloom cotton batting. So this is a queen size. So thank you very much for Hobbs for sharing this. Our friends at Mettler Thread have provided numerous spools of thread. So I have these along with the Seraflex thread, which is a thread that has stretch to it. And you'll want to use the stretch needle when you're working with the Seraflex. I have the ODIF temporary adhesive glue stick. So if you've been curious about ODIF, this would be a great way to sample this new product. Of course, many of us are familiar with their popular 505 spray, but here it is in a glue stick. We have Mary Malari has one of her felt projects. And of course, we always love Mary, and I'll see Mary in a few days in Houston at Quilt Market. So you can make little French fry baskets, gift totes, 3-button bowls, etc. A variety of things here. We have the Grab It magnetic pin cushion, and this is from the Swirl collection. So this comes in black and white, but we also have a red and a blue. So you keep that in mind. Many of you probably know that when you buy your Grab It magnetic pin cushion, there's a little protective shell over it. So keep that shell. So when you travel and you drop this in your sewing box, now your pins won't flick off. So you've got a little protector clam there. The Grab It MyPad needle organizer is included, so you can organize your slightly used needles by needle type and size. And last but not least, from my friends at Shannon Fabrics, I have the Cuddle Kit. This is they're calling it Ear for You Snow. Well, I don't quite understand that name, but I love the softness of cuddle and minky fabric. And what needle are you going to use with this? I know you know. It's SCHMETZ Stretch 9014. So that'll make your sewing a lot easier when you use the Stretch 9014. So one lucky winner will be drawn. Paul will give me that name shortly. Okay. So let's scoot along. There were a couple other questions that came in. So Pam, I hope I answered your question. Felt and craft needles are an assortment of needles, especially for your smaller crafts. You've got the super non-stick, super universal, jeans, and universal in assorted sizes. Okay, Anne Marie Salmon says that she's seen quite a few posts on other sites that people write things like, I never change my machine needle. I've used the same one for years. Or I change my needle only when it breaks. Please, can you explain the importance of changing a sewing machine needle more frequently? Okay, so absolutely. So I know when you're sewing and you hit a pin, your first thought is, oh my goodness, I just bent the needle. And maybe you did, I don't know. But if you just hit a pin, what you did is you just compromised the point and the tip. So now you're going to get some wonky stitches, and it might sound a little odd when your stitch is made. Um, the importance of changing a needle. Well, here's the thing. You spend a lot of money on your machine or your machines, right? Hundreds or thousands of dollars. And how many of you have multiple machines? You spent a lot of money collecting all those beautiful fabrics, threads. You spend money on books and patterns, lectures, retreats, and your sewing time is an investment too. So if you stop and think about it, it's the sewing machine needle that's interacting with your fabric, your thread, your technique, etc. So it's the needle that's doing a lot of the hard work. And yes, you can't expect this little point to stay sharp forever. So when you're working with a dull needle, you're actually compromising not only your fabric, but your thread and the stitch quality. So when you're sewing, what are clues to changing out the needle? Well, we just touched upon one clue already. And yeah, when you hit a pin. um, but if you don't change your needle frequently enough, what happens is the thread will actually wear a groove in the eye of the needle. And what's that going to do? Break and shred your thread. So what are you going to do? Change out your needle. That just has to be happening. If you're not ever changing your needle, the thread will probably be breaking or shredding. So what are you going to do? Change out the needle. What's another clue while you're sewing that you need to change out the needle? Well, what's happening to your fabric? Is your fabric puckering? Is the needle snagging your fabric? Or in a severe case, the needle hits your fabric and tucks the fabric into your throat plate. Well, hello. Those are all clues that you need to change out the needle. And what's another clue? Oh, what's happening to your stitches? Are your stitches skipping? Are your seams uneven? Or in another case, maybe you're sitting at your machine and you're saying, well, I'm sewing in a straight line. How come my stitches look kind of wiggly squiggly? Well, hello. That's a clue that you need to change out your needle. And one other clue, and maybe especially if you're in a classroom situation, you might notice this, or you certainly should notice it also when you're home sewing. Hopefully, when you're sewing, you're in that bubble. Your machine is humming along, and then you start to hear that little click, click, clicking sound. And what is it? It's your needle saying, hey, I've been working hard here, change me. If you ignore the clicking, now it graduates to a pop, pop, popping sound, and your needle is yelling at you, change me, change me. And if you ignore the clicking and the popping, what's happening now? Clunk, clunk, clunk. And your first inclination might be, oh my goodness, something's wrong with my machine. Maybe, I don't know. But even if you take your machine into the tech, what's the first thing the tech's going to ask you? Hey, when's the last time you changed your needle? So changing the needle is a simple repair that you can do at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Changing the needle elevates your stitch quality. You're spending a lot of time and money on your project. So why wouldn't you use a needle that's up to the task? Get that new needle in place and stitch quality stitches so you have fewer problems, and you want to be proud of your work. So elevate your stitches by using a fresh needle. All right. So many of you have the SCHMETZ ABC Pocket Guide. And if you don't, you can actually download this in your phone, and I'll go over that soon. But in the SCHMETZ ABC Pocket Guide, here's the cover. Many of you recognize it. Here are clues to change the needle. So really, I'm not here just to sell you more needles, but really I want you to have a wonderful sewing experience. And yes, that includes changing out the needle. I mean, hopefully you're maintaining your machine too, right? You should be, if oiling is proper, that you should be doing that. Blowing out the dust with a little pressure can is part of sewing machine maintenance. Taking it into the tech, that's part of maintenance. And changing your needle, the least expensive part to your machine is just good machine maintenance. All right, so Anne Marie, I hope that helps you out. My lights are dulling here, so let me see if I can activate them again. There we go. She had another question. Oh, the difference between modern sewing machine needles in comparison from machine needles from years ago. So many of you are familiar with our traditional packaging of SCHMETZ needles. Until 2019, I think it was, SCHMETZ needles had a nickel finish. But in 2017, we introduced a chrome finish. Chrome high performance needle. This is what the packaging looks like. Chrome, the original packaging looks like. Chrome resists heat and wear. Chrome high performance needles became very popular, so that in 2019, all of the SCHMETZ needles transitioned from a nickel finish to chrome. So if you've bought your SCHMETZ needles in the last few years with packaging that looks like this, fantastic. These needles are chrome also. The packaging or the hand tag just hasn't changed yet. So when I show you both of these hang cards of needles, these are the very same needle. It's just that this package here is more colorful, but both of these needles on both hang cards are chrome high performance needle. So your needle stays cooler and it may last a little bit longer. The needle will still dull, but the finish on the needle is high performance, so you might get more stitching time. So very good question. Let me just show you a couple other examples. Microtex is my favorite needle. So here's the traditional packaging. This is size 70, but here is chrome here. In the colorful packaging. Many of you that are familiar with the SCHMETZ color chart will recognize that this top block of the color is to represent Microtex, which has a top color band of purple. And on this sample here for size 70, the needle has a lower color band of green. So that SCHMETZ color chart is just extended to the card. But guess what? These two packs of needles are the very same. They both have the same top color band of purple and the lower color band of green. The other thing I'll just mention is these needles are probably a little bit less expensive than the ones on the colorful hang tag. Just saying. I'll show you one more example. Here are the embroidery needles, size 7511 in the traditional card. And here we have the very same needle on the chrome packaging. So top color band of red, and for pink, size 7511. So both of these needles are the very same. They're both chrome, size 7511. They're just on a different hang card. So just keeping you informed. So thank you very much, Anne Marie, for asking that question. She also asked about the importance of matching the needle to the fabric. So with these little SCHMETZ bundles that I mentioned before, the name kind of gives you a clue as to what needle type and size to use. But for more specific information, there's the SCHMETZ ABC Pocket Guide. If you've got this, fantastic. If you don't have it, you can go to, when you buy your SCHMETZ needles at your local sewing machine dealer, quilt, or fabric shop, ask them if they've got the ABC Pocket Guide. If they don't, you can go to schmetzneedles.com and you can actually download this. And it's not going to look as cute as this, but you can download it. The inside back cover has this print version has over 70 fabrics that are listed alphabetically with a recommended needle type and size. So if you've been curious, I want to sew on cork or bamboo, both are listed here. This little ABC pocket guide you can also download into your phone. So you go to schmetzneedles.com, and when you go about midway on the page, you're going to see all of the cover of the ABC pocket guide, and the needles are identified. And off to the right, it says click here for the free web-based app. So you can download the app right into your phone. You can download this ABC Pocket Guide with all the information on your SCHMETZ needles. And in the app, there's over 100 fabrics that are listed with suggestions for needle type and size. Also, when you go to the resource page and you click website app, there is a link to some of the popular thread companies because they have their own recommendations for needle type and size. So Kathy Lowe asked about using heavier weight thread with cottons and knits. So again, the ABC Pocket Guide is a great reference to determine what needle type and size to use. And Kathy, be sure to go to resources and click those thread links for suggestions for needle type and size. So I think there's almost 10 different thread companies that are linked there. And Aurifil has a nice list where they talk about different weights of fabrics and suggestions for needle type and size, along with Gutermann, Sulky, Wonderfil, and Superior. So click those links as a general reference as to what needle size and type to use. Excuse me. Okay. Oh boy, I'm going to cough again. Sally sent an email with a great idea and how she organizes her SCHMETZ needles. She has a 3-ring binder with coin collector plastic sheets. So she has each page labeled for different needle types, so universal, microtex, etc. And then she has a needle protector for the ever popular Grab It My Pad needle organizer. So she has everything contained in her binder, so you can keep that in mind. All right. And Jenny asked, what needle for sewing vinyl? I already mentioned that, but let me just mention again. When you're sewing with vinyl, the SCHMETZ Super Nonstick needle is a great needle to use. It has that anti-adhesive coating that you find in your pots and pans at home. Can't use that T word, but that's what it is, anti-adhesive coating. It has an optimized blade, so there's less needle deflection, and also an enlarged eye, so there's less stress on your thread as it's passing through the eye of the needle. So 4 great sizes. The vinyl, the super non-stick, super universal needle comes in all 4 sizes, or you can go for the vinyl collection, which is the same needle but in assorted sizes. So Jenny, I hope that helps you out. Oh my goodness, we've just covered a lot of information here. Um, okay, so let me see. Anita says that her creative system is they're all thrown into a tin. Okay, I think many of us can relate to that. Oh, Christy just of the sewing. Oh, hi, Christy. She learns a lot from these shows. So thank you very much for your comment. I always appreciate that. All right. And the sewing fix, yep, you want to look up Christy and see what she's got on her website. Okay, so Paul just handed me the winner for today. The question was, when do you plan to start your holiday shopping? Oh, okay. Brenda, Brenda Snyder from Georgia. I like your answer because she does her shopping, her holiday shopping all year long. That gives her plenty of time to make something. The downside is that sometimes she forgets what she got for who. Well, can't we all relate to that? When I went home to Nebraska to visit my dad in August, I actually gave him his Christmas present because, well, sometimes you don't know how the weather's going to be. And I bought this beautiful, actually, it's a candle holder. He collects redbirds and cardinals. And I found this beautiful candle holder for a really big candle that had 4 cardinals on it. And then it was had gold, a gold finish to it. I kept the candle, but I gave him the holder. And so he has it on his dining room table with sweets and crackers and all kinds of snacks. So I, I want him to enjoy it right away. Everybody else has to wait for their Christmas presents from me. Okay, so our winner here today is Brenda Snyder. So Brenda, how are you going to claim your prize? Brenda, you're going to send an email to info@SCHMETZneedles, all one word.com. You're going to say you're the October winner and give your address, your shipping address, and we'll get all these wonderful goodies shipped out to you. The Benner text, so very easy. Laura Koya's sample, the Shannon fabrics, the Stoff fabrics, etc. Well, we've just been together for almost an hour. I want to say thank you to each of you for being here today. If you get the newsletter, you know that after this presentation, that at 2:00 Eastern time, there are textile talks. And textile talks, let's see what's on for today. It's called Go Tell It, Recording the Quilt Stories of Our Community. And it's presented by the Quilt Alliance. It's called Textile Talks. So you need to pre-register. But if you go to Quilt Alliance, I think you can go ahead and register. You've got 7 minutes. Or if you go to studioartquiltassociates.com, so that'd be SAQA.com, and you can register there for textile talks too. Upcoming talks that they have are conversations with artists of color in context, and with the blue as the color theme. And then October 15th, it's friend Lisa Dawkins of Collaging Textiles. So lots of fun things that you can check out if you are at least now or later. So I'll also just say, make sure you sign up for the newsletter. Tell your friends to sign up for the newsletter because, the holidays are coming up, and I do have a holiday item that I will be teasing you with next month, or maybe even before Halloween. We'll see. So thank you to each of you for being here today. If you are in Houston next week, come on up and say hello. I won't have a booth, but I will be on the floor checking out exhibits, talking to vendors, talking to SCHMETZ fans, etc. I always love to go to Houston, and I come away inspired and with more friends. So share your love of sewing, and I will see you next month. Next month is Wednesday, November 5th. So SCHMETZ, everybody.